Movement that began with the death of George Floyd is also shining a light on a whole bunch of other cases of black men and women killed in police custody, like the 2019 death of 23-year-old Elijah McClain, who was put in a chokehold while coming home from a convenience store. Now, I want to warn you, this footage is really disturbing, and if you're not comfortable with it, just close your eyes for a second. But if you want to see it, take a look.
Stop. 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 I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
No, I am an introvert. Please respect the boundaries that I am speaking.
Relax.
Stop. Leave me alone.
No, we're gonna talk to you.
You guys started to rush me, and I was stopping my music to listen. Now let go of me. Please.
Relax. Just relax. Relax.
Relax.
Now, the FBI said they've been investigating Elijah's death this whole time. So, Sonny, why is this just getting attention now, do you think?
Well, I think we're in a new place now. I think the tragic murder of George Floyd and people protesting across the country and the world has brought renewed attention on what has been going on in this country, at least, for decades. And I think we're going to see a lot more of these cases, unfortunately, because of the, because these camera phones are now ubiquitous. I'm stunned that we're hearing the words, "I can't."
Yeah. So, Megan, when you saw this video, what ran through your mind?
I'm a little late to this story. I saw a friend yesterday who told me about it, and then I listened to the audio last night and just went into a deep dive on the internet about Elijah's life. He was 23 years old. He was a massage therapist. He used to play his violin for cats in places that to sort of, he believed that they sued them. He seemed like a very sensitive and, as he said, introverted man. And the audio is, I just was in bed last night and I stumbled upon it on Twitter and I listened to it and I could not stop crying. It is horrific. He's begging for his life. He's talking about how he's an introvert. He doesn't want to hurt anyone. He's a vegetarian. Please, I don't even kill flies. And then he's apologizing and saying, please, I'll do whatever you want. Forgive me. It is gut-wrenching. And I think stories like this are getting attention, as Sunny said, because we're in a different place. But I also think the idea of your child dying in this way and hearing his or her last words screaming out for forgiveness when they haven't done anything wrong after they've just gone to a convenience store and bought an iced tea for their brother. And then, somehow, and by the way, he was somehow injected with ketamine and he died of a heart attack on the way to the hospital. So I believe that this case should be reopened. I think there are just all of these cases like this are horrific, but there's something about this one in particular that I just have been very emotional about last night, and this morning I was talking to my husband over breakfast about it. And I think we all collectively would like to invite his family on the show, but this is getting a lot of national attention. It deserves to get a lot more because no one should have their family members die like this.
Yeah, I just, the thing that gets me is people always see.
All right.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I was just going to say, we bitch about technology a lot of times, but thank God we have video cameras right now because that's what's really going on. If we had them during World War II, everybody would know the Holocaust was happening, and it might not have happened. So I'm just saying that's a good thing that we have right now. These things that just keep coming.
Well, we do.
Sorry, go ahead.
Those cameras are important. No, that's okay. The cameras are important, but the thing that's really, we have been saying to people, this is what has been happening to black men and women all over the country. We have said we are being shot down, we are being beaten up, we are being murdered. And people say, well, you're playing the race card or you're not acting correctly. This kid did nothing. This young man did nothing. This is not a guy you could say, oh, he looks suspicious. Apparently, he looks suspicious to the people. I can't imagine why. He's very sweet looking, didn't look like he was doing anything. So I just want to put it out there. This has got to stop. And every time we hear about a story like this, we're going to bring it to you because you need to know this is really what goes on.
Well,
we
it also
want people to
raises.
know.
Sorry to interrupt you, but it also raises conversations. I was thinking last night about how police are interacting with people who are introverts, people who maybe can't express themselves in the way that extroverts can. And I think we really need to reassess training. I mean, God forbid there's someone with special needs that's in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I don't know what it is about this particular case. Yeah, go ahead, continue, Sunny, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, son.
No, that happens often, and that they're supposed to be trained to be able to deal with people that do have special needs. And unfortunately, we also see that all the time. And this scheme.
So we do see it all the time. We do see it all the time, and we want them to be trained. Now, there's a must-do here. The coroner's report listed that McClain's cause of death was undetermined, blaming the hemorrhaging around his neck and abrasions on his body on the fact that he was struggling with officers. You know how many times we've heard that? That's what the report says. And an idiosyncratic drug reaction cannot be ruled out. Now, the references to this ketamine dosage, why are they shooting? Why is anybody shooting him with anything? Why is this even happening? That is the thing. We're going to bring you these stories. We're going to bring you these families because you need to see that this can happen to any of us, and we've got to stop it and retrain our police officers.